morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and this man in the box is the baby.
Good morning. Trying to match your enthusiasm there.
Clearly, the coffee that I'm drinking is very strong today. Good morning, How are you? Anyway, good morning. The channel that you are watching now is Ice Cream, and we are bringing you the scoop, your daily dose of news from the games industry and beyond. Today is Monday the 17th of January. Yes, I did just look down to my right to check the clock just to make sure, because that's what it is. It's a Monday. Nobody knows the date. The Graham and Bibby Show, says Lazar the Greek in the chat. Lots of people saying good morning, including HP Bass, who says, hello? Someone? Don't worry, we're here. We were just sorting things out. But anyway, if you are in the chat, please feel to drop comments in the chat, as those guys already have, because we, as I said, bring you your daily dose of news from the games industry and beyond. We give you our thoughts and impressions on all of that news each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. You guys in the chat get a chance to give us even your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions of the news that is breaking. So it's important that you guys do get involved. We then turn this into a standalone on-demand video that we upload to YouTube for everyone to watch a little bit later on. They get the benefits of on-demand content, but they don't get the opportunity to interact with us live in the chat. So it's important that if you are here this morning, do get involved. We then turn this into an audio podcast that we upload to iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So there are many places to get the Ice Cream Scoop direct into your logos. So do it. And if you are watching this on YouTube, then I'm saying there's if you're not here right now. So you are. Hi, how are you doing? Hi. Just press the like button. Just do it, yeah. Go down to click that one. Yeah. Do it. But good weekend, babe.
Yes, it was actually. It was a very chaotic one. So Saturday, those of you that have been keeping up with me will know that I've been trying to test my hand at playing golf. So I've been playing golf for a number of years. However, I'm trying to get into the competitions and stuff now. So I actually got to play my first one on Saturday, albeit it was an absolute disaster because of the weather. Like, who decides to play the first golf competition when there's an actual storm happening?
It's not even like one. There's been like three back to back. I'll have a game of golf. Yeah, jobs are good in.
So me and my mate went and gone and played in our first tour. It's safe to say we did not hand our card in at the end of it. It was horrible. The weather was horrific, to say the least. Like, it was just so boggy you couldn't walk. Like, usually golf courses are so pristine that it's well taken care of. It's just on proper grass that's been cut down to the finest grains it could possibly. It was just a mud and bloodbath. It was horrific. It was good fun though. We managed to play 11 of the 13 holes because the rest of them was taken off due to waterlogging. So that should give you a clue before you even enter the competition. But yeah, it was a proper laugh. And then I went into town afterwards with the missus. Went out at 2:00. Didn't get back home until about 10:30. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. We ended up going to Roxy actually. You know that we had the Twitch party at.
It's a good place, Roxy.
We went back in there.
Did you play any shuffleboard?
No, we did the girls ended up having a catch up, and the lads went upstairs and played 18 holes of mini golf. So I played golf twice in the day.
Oh, you're missing a trick. You need if next time you go to Roxy, shuffleboard is that is the game changer. For those of you that don't know, shuffleboard is basically a long, flat, well polished / standard board, and you just throw little weights down it like curling, but smaller in a room.
We did what I do. We did what I rent out a pool table as well, but it was all just completely booked up. You go there, you walk in the door and they go, "Have you booked?" Then you know you fucked up. It's like, no, because we didn't book the golf either. We just went upstairs, and first thing they said was, "Have you booked?" It's like, no, and it's like, right, come back in an hour then.
Yeah, that's where you get that meme. Have you booked? No. This is where we throw our heads back and laugh.
It was rammed though. Like, both floors were just completely rammed. It was class though. And then yesterday, I spent most of the day at my nan's trying to get her to make me food, so if it make me feel better. And then I went up to my mum's and did the exact same thing.
Hey. Nice bit of spongy.
Oh, yeah, what about yours?
Pretty chilled and relaxed weekend again. We did very little. I think the most that we did, apart from the weekly big shop, was a trip yesterday to Krispy Kreme and Starbucks.
Oh.
The deadly duo. Get a nice original glazed donut. Oh, I mean, I may have got an original and a chocolate custard as well. Just because.
Standard.
And then just quickly. I mean, for those who don't know, Manchester Trafford Centre, there's a Krispy Kreme drive-through. Although always go in, because if you go in and they're making the donuts fresh, they give you free ones while you stood there. So, although they weren't doing that yesterday, they weren't doing that yesterday. So they get any freebies, but yeah, went into that straight out and then through the Starbucks drive-through. And then that was it. Just spent the rest of the weekend getting all the dubs on PUBG. When I say all the dubs, I've got 2, but still, all of the 2 dubs.
When was the last time you went to Rollers?
The last time I went to Rollers, last time I had Rollers was when I brought the Rollers in for us doing the PES League World Finals live draw.
Yes.
From the studio.
God, as if it's been that long, because that was the last time that I had it as well. I'm going to have to fire her down to Manchester on Wednesday or something.
Even then, I didn't even go. It was Danielle. She looked after the team. She brought, what was it, 12? Did I bring? It was either 8 or 12 cinnamon bad boys in. Quick question that I was wanting to ask. Is the RCU studio in Manchester? It isn't. The RCU studio is at the Jelly. Technically it's the Jelly studio at the Jelly offices, and we are based just on the edge of Blackpool. So that's where it is. Hashtag nice cap switch, great. Yeah, I originally had my PUBG hat on. However, because Manchester is Manchester, I'm at home, which is just on the edge of Manchester, Salford. Outside the window, it's very, very, very overcast, and I have my Elgato key lights there, but I don't want to drown out the rest of the room. Anyway, long story now. So behind me, I have the nano leaf light on the wall there. Plus, I have some uplighters from Philips Hue there. But when I wear dark clothing, I have to boost the front lighting, so you can see the colour of the lights changing on the screen when I'm moving things around. Anyway, if I wear a dark hat, because I'm sat so close to the camera, it changes everything and makes everything darker. So usually, if I put my black hat on, I have to try wear a light coloured top to balance it out so the room doesn't look grim. And because I'm wearing a dark grey top, a grey top, and I had a black hat on, it just all started looking grim. So I just switched to the blue one. So yeah, there you go. Long story of this is why Graham wears clothes in the order that he does. I'm Ice Cream Blood. So there you go. Tomorrow, actually, I'm not on tomorrow. I'm not on for the rest of the week because it's half-term week. So I'm on today, and then I'm AWOL for the rest of the week. So I was going to say next Monday, you may get to, ask me about why I'm wearing the clothing choice. Actually, no, I'll be in the studio next Monday. Okay, next Wednesday, ask me why I'm wearing the clothing choice I am. Some point in the future, I may be broadcasting live from my house. At that point, feel free. We got to meet again, Greg, please. I will be aka Mr. Top Bins in the future, so I hope to see you too. I may or may not be there. That's all I'm saying. Ads Player says, hello, good morning, Ads. How the devil are you? Anyway, should we jump into some news? Would you guys like some news? Would you like some news, babe?
I would absolutely love some news.
That's nice. I mean, I'm asking, would you like some news? I mean, you've done all the legwork to get the news, so you clearly have got some news. But, I mean, would you like me to do the news that you've already done all the work in pulling together? Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Feel free to start. One minute. I've just seen Next Gen Renegade enter the chat. Now, have we got a mini pitbull yet?
Yeah, I mean, do we have pups? Do we have pitbull pups? This is the question.
He's probably not going to reply straight away, but it's the question that's on everybody's lips.
I mean, he may just type in the chat, wasn't actually going to mention it on the stream, didn't want people to know. Cheers, lads. I was like, fuck! We need to know if you've added to the litter. There you go, see that? Pitbull
nice
stuff.
Work.
Yeah. I'm actually ready now as well, because I just opened up Chrome, and I had the Streamlabs, Twitch dashboard there, just looking at people's chat. Hi guys! That's not the first news article of the day. Anyway, jumping back again into the news. Activision's deal with YouTube is reportedly valued at $160 million, almost doubling its prior deal with Twitch. This is written by Vikki Blake for Eurogamer. As Precision, the beautiful, beautiful little man, drops the host. Thank you very much, Precision. Who is this little man? I'm trying to make Baby's face react. I can't tell if he is. No, he's frozen. He's frozen.
It happened again.
Oh, no, it's moving again. Ads Plays as well, dropping the host. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, if you're watching this, please, there's a little button that allows you to host. If not, you just go to your own channel and type /host and then space and then Ice Cream Uploads. You want to do that now? Yeah. Nice. Anyway, the exclusive worldwide third-party provider deal for live streaming between YouTube and Activision Blizzard is reportedly worth $160 million, or 120 million pounds. Activision Blizzard announced the deal with YouTube a few weeks ago, saying the multi-year strategic relationship to power new player experiences would see Google Cloud serve as the preferred provider for Activision Blizzard's game hosting infrastructure, and YouTube as its exclusive streaming partner worldwide, excluding China. The details of the deal weren't specified at the time, but by comparison, a similar deal Activision struck with Twitch in 2018 was thought to be valued around $90 million. The Esports Observer reports the deal, which sees YouTube, not Twitch, host the live broadcasts of the inaugural Call of Duty League season, as well as Overwatch League's 2020 season, included significant incentive clauses for ad sales and viewership targets. Google says Activision Blizzard turned to Google Cloud because of its highly reliable global footprint, advanced data analytics and artificial intelligence capabilities, and commitment to open source, creating a platform for building future gaming innovations. And that absolutely screams to me, word salad doesn't mean anything, but thanks, lads. It's a massive deal for YouTube, which has been struggling to compete with the streaming industry leaders Twitch and Mixer. This is an exciting year for Activision Esports as we head into the inaugural season of Call of Duty League and our first ever season of homestands for Overwatch League all around the world. Pete Vlastelica, CEO of Activision Blizzard Esports, said at the time. So, lots and lots, and on open source. Nice. Do we have some? That takes some. Open source? Yeah, okay. Lots and 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 lots of words to say that YouTube threw a lot of money at Activision to get them to give them their esports. And then they threw in marketing messages like, oh, not only are we providing them sources that are open and stuff for the broadcasts and things, but we're also giving them cloud services. And it's just, yeah, it's an expensive advertisement. That's what it is. Which I'm not sure on that myself. I never like anything like that in terms of Nadeshot, for example, which is quite funny because Nadeshot is part of 100 Thieves, and at least 2 of 100 Thieves are signed exclusively to stream on YouTube. But yeah, Nadeshot, for example, in the past signed for MLG to do his video content. I think it was at the time when he was making content regularly for YouTube. He signed for MLG.TV, and he responded after his contract finished on that, saying that it was a bad decision. It was good that he got a load of money from it. It was bad that he was literally splitting his viewership to the point that it harmed his following at that point in time. Not that you'd notice it now looking at him, but at that point in time, he was basically forcing his viewers to choose, do I want it in one place, do I want it in the other. I mean, not that that's not happened already. Activision having a 90 million exclusivity deal with Twitch is already polarizing the audience, because you have to just use Twitch. You can't use YouTube. You can't use Mixer. So this is essentially swapping like for like, one for the other. But live streaming content on YouTube just still feels odd to me. And this is, I mean, I'm someone that works in the industry, that has streamed live content on YouTube and so on, but it still just feels it doesn't.
It's weird. Like, it's weird streaming onto YouTube because it caters for one side of the world, but not for all of the world. So, like, we've had it previously where we think that Twitch is the most dominant market when it comes to live streaming video games, which I think the stats would basically say that it is. However, in other parts of the world, they absolutely only want it to be on YouTube because they think that that's the best. That's where their audience is. So, with them signing this deal with Activision for the 300,000 concurrent that they had in the Call of Duty World Finals last year, for instance, on Twitch, 300,000 people was watching it. They think that immediately that's going to translate to people watching that on YouTube, which I absolutely don't think is going to be the case.
I may be eating.
But yeah, it's I don't think it's going to be the case that they're going to get concurrent 300,000. Yeah, people go on YouTube to watch videos that have already been created, not to watch live streams. In Europe, anyway. I mean, that's probably the exact same case in Americas. I think it's only the very eastern parts of the world that it could potentially be that is a YouTube predominantly watched space. But for at least for Europe, anyway, I don't think YouTube is the answer to them trying to get this deal. Well, they've got the deal over the line. I think it's a lot of money for Activision to part away with. To gain from YouTube. It's easy money for them. So we'll see where this goes.
It's interesting though. One thing that YouTube has done is actually, let's jump through the comments. My unit break is nearly over, so I'll have to say goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friends. Take care, dudes. Love you all. Remember, stay frosty. Yes. Hashtag players believing. Thanks, Lazar. I can hear the MLG crowd rising to their feet and chanting, "OP3, OP3." It sounds magnificent, the most electrifying chant in gaming entertainment. If you smell what your dad is cooking, eh? Golf is awesome. Get into it. Whoa, someone's just woke up Pirate. Welcome to 15 minutes ago. Yeah, Activision getting 160 million. For them, no-brainer. You've got Call of Duty League. 160 million will basically give you a massive cash injection, so you essentially can't fail in the first year. If nobody watches it in the first year, or they don't hit the numbers that they want anyway, because people will watch it, but if they don't hit the numbers that they want, that 160 million helps them go, okay, well look, anything like that, it takes 3 years before you start to really make headway. So that 160 million covers a lot of year 1 and year 2. Plus, we're also subsidising Overwatch League as well. So I completely get why they'd be doing that. But from YouTube's perspective, YouTube clearly want streaming. They want a portion of the pie. They have done for a while. They tried it with YouTube Gaming, which obviously wasn't dissolved. YouTube Gaming was quite a success in some essences, in terms of gaming.youtube.com doesn't really exist anymore. Because all of the functions were absorbed into YouTube in general, which is how it kind of should be. You don't need to polarize your own audience, never mind global audiences. But are they really serious? I mean, what's the plan? What are they trying to do? They are going after just the big things. But the internet and the games industry and Twitch and everything down to meme mentality doesn't just go, oh well, they've got the biggest things, let's take that. That's celebrity culture, but it's not necessarily streaming culture. I mean, the two things are similar, but they are different as well at the same time. I mean, YouTube have gone, okay, we want Courage from 100 Thieves. We want Valkyrie from 100 Thieves. We want Call of Duty and Overwatch League. Boom, 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 boom. But they're just high-profile acquisitions. What about the rest of the world? I mean, Courage, known for playing COD, now plays Fortnite. Valkyrie, Fortnite, and I assume similar sort of games. I don't actually, not really watched any of Valkyrie's content. Activision's Call of Duty League and Overwatch League. It seems like YouTube just have a feck ton of money, and they're just going, well, that's big, let's buy that. That's big, let's buy that. But what is the thought process? Are you buying these people because these are key tenets of your plan for the rest of the year? Or have you just seen Mixer have bought some people big, so we should buy some people big? Twitch previously bought Overwatch League, so we should buy Overwatch League. Where are YouTube going with it? It seems to be smart purchases as part of a bigger plan, but this doesn't seem like that. It almost seems like it's just big purchases because they can, not because there's a plan.
We're very interested to see what kind of numbers this does at the end of the contract, to see whether or not it was worthwhile, because as it stands now, looking from the outside in, I do not think it's worth the £300 million that they've spent. From Activision's standpoint, if someone's offering you 300 million to stream your broadcast on their service, it's a fucking no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just like, where do you want me to put it all? It don't matter. Build another room. We'll put it all in there. Don't worry about it. But in regards to Twitch, they must just be thinking, right? Okay, it did really well for us last year, but would we want it to part away with 300 mil to have this on our platform again? I don't think they've dodged a bullet. I think having that amount of money, would be criminal for them to turn down if it got offered to them. But YouTube isn't the platform for live streaming, and it's been the case for a while. Hence the reason why YouTube gaming does not exist anymore. It got binned about 2 years ago because no one was using it to the extent that they probably wanted it or had their focus on it being a rival to Twitch. Twitch is the dominant market in my eyes when it comes to streaming your video games, for instance. But Twitch isn't just about streaming video games on there anymore. You've got things like this, which is a talk show. Fair enough, it's about video games, but people host
Genuinely
radio
thought you was
stations
going to
on
say,
there.
fair enough, it's a bad talk show. I was like, what? Well, I mean, it could be. It depends on your... everyone's got your own opinions.
But the stream lifestyle things and everything on there now, so it's not just about the video games anymore. They've got the powerhouse of Amazon behind it, who know what they're doing. It was watch this space for whatever Amazon are going to be doing when it gets into video games sooner rather than later. So yeah, Mixer have tried, and the numbers still aren't doing it any justice compared to what they paid for, the amount of high-profile streamers that they've got on that platform. So I don't know. Is Call of Duty worth 300 mil? We'll see.
I mean, if there's any game that has an established online viewership, or two games, should I say, that have established online viewerships and are going in the right direction in terms of providing, not episodic, but more series esports, then the Overwatch League and the Call of Duty League are definitely the direction to go for. So this thought process there. But yeah, like you say, whether it actually turns out to be worthwhile, like you say, we have to wait and see. I completely agree.
I would have absolutely loved for them to try and get the CS:GO sponsorship to see if they can try and get the world finals on YouTube for CS:GO. I imagine that conversation would have had. I don't think Call of Duty would have been the first game that they would have gone for. I think they would have gone for potentially the big three. They've probably declined, and then they've had to go for Call of Duty. It's just so weird that they've gone for Call of Duty out of all of them. If you want to throw money, like if you was to buy the best player in the world in footballing terms, you'd go for the best player. Fair enough, it's going to cost you a lot of money. However, this feels weird that they've gone for potentially the fifth best esports game in the list. You'd potentially go for the best one and then see where that fares, because you're going to attract a lot more people for CS:GO than you are for Call of Duty, and unfortunately that is the case. The numbers show that. Do you know what I mean?
That's like announcing an exclusive worldwide football broadcast, bringing you the top level football from blah blah blah, and we're proud to announce our partnership with Arsenal.
Well, that's essentially what it's like, though.
Good morning, number one pirate.
If you want to make waves, you go for the biggest and best. And Call of Duty, for me, in my perspective, is nowhere close to being the best. Fair enough, it's one of the biggest franchises in the world when it comes to people actively playing the game, and the most well-bought game for an esports perspective. But when it comes to viewership, Call of Duty isn't touching it unless you have a big brand name like 100 Thieves. I can guarantee you the only reason they had 300,000 people playing in that watching that final last time is because 100 Thieves was a part of that. 100 Thieves are bigger than just an esports brand. They are a brand now, with the biggest and best content creators involved in that. So,
but they're not going to be in this one, though, are they? Because
no, because it's franchised.
100 Thieves didn't buy into the franchise. I
don't blame them.
Yeah, 25 million or whatever buy-in fee. Well, now we know where all that 25 million each has gone. 160 million. Number one pirate knows he will get his revenge. Number one pirate also lost the fact that this Arsenal team also beat United. Everyone beats United. Why are you thinking that's good? I wonder how many Activision games are demonized by YouTube.
Is it meant to be demonetized?
I don't know. Just had a 15-minute convo with the boss. He didn't seem to understand that I needed to see your faces. Should have speared him right out of his Wellington boots. I would have broken him. He just wanted to talk. The art as big as the PES community. Let's get this straight. You're goddamn right. You are goddamn right. Speaking of which, we have announced almost all of the teams for the Invitational. If you didn't see it, I know most of you guys in the chat did, but if you're watching this on YouTube or listening on the audio on demand services a little bit later on, we had a live stream from the Ice Cream Studios on Friday afternoon, and we announced that we have 7 teams and in the bag, or in the hat, in the groups, whatever. We have 7 teams for the Invitational, and we are doing a wild card draw for the 8th team. So if you know someone that potentially could hold their own in a tournament, then feel free to point them our way. Or if you know someone that you just think would be absolutely fun to destroy them on stream, then also send them our way, because we have space for one more team. Anyway, Activision, £160 million to get an exclusive YouTube did, and I've been given 160 million pounds even from YouTube for an exclusive deal. And words are fun when you can say them properly in the right way, which I clearly can't this morning. Good morning. Yeah, for me, it's nice. It's good from content perspective, but it's not so much the amount of money or the games, or it's just, it doesn't seem like there's a real logic or reasoning for that. It almost seems like YouTube are hoping that the COD League and the Overwatch leagues are going to be successful in their own right, that they're just next to the success. Oh look, we have it exclusively, and it doesn't seem like they're pushing for that's a key point in the milestone of their plan. Anyway, Bibarino, are you ready for some scary news?
I most certainly am. I realise as well that for some reason, I think I said twice 300 million. That's clearly not the case. It was 160. Just for anyone who potentially is reading this, getting ready to give me some shit saying that I'm not getting my facts right, believe it or not, I actually scooped this news this morning. I scraped it and put it together, and I still managed to fuck it up.
So yeah, just to confirm, 720 million
yeah,
and £4. Anyway, scary news. Jumping into our next article, sticking with Eurogamer, written by Vikki Blake this time. The latest Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition mod fixes shadows and special effects. Latest update brings many fixes and improvements. So it's taken almost a year, but the group of volunteer developers and modders who have been working quietly enhancing and improving the PC release of celebrated psychological horror Silent Hill 2 have released a new update. Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition is self-described as an ongoing project of enhancement packages that add various visual, audio, and bug improvements for the PC version of the game, such as implementing a modern widescreen camera, improving the display for higher resolutions, and removing several prominent audio bugs. The most recent version, released earlier this week, sees newly added features such as soft shadows, self-shadows, restored post-processing effects, continued controller support, and much more. We've just released the next major update for our project, modder Ratio Syndar? Steve told Eurogamer. This one includes many fixes and improvements, along with the restoration of special effects and restored soft/self shadows, the most requested thing ever for our project. For more, check out the team's latest update video, which is embedded there. And then, providing you have a copy of the game on PC for yourself, you can jump right in. Visit the town of Silent Hill for all the details. Is that? Oh, that's a website. Okay, I was like reading that out. Visit the town of Silent Hill for details. Like I'm going to go to some sort of tourist information office. Could I get some more details, please? So yes, the town of Silent Hill is a website that has all the details. Go there for more. If you've used the enhanced edition before, you don't even have to reinstall everything. Just add the files from the latest package. The last version, which released in April 2019, introduced newly added features such as crisp high-resolution fonts, and improved flashlight, vibration support, and much more, including smoothing away popping or looping textures in subtle and not so subtle ways. Secret features are still being discovered in the original PS2 version of Silent Hill 2, nearly 20 years after the seminal horror game was released. Twitterers discovered that a secret minimap and a save anywhere feature can be unlocked once players have completed the game and received the dog ending. So I'll hit play in the video whilst we talk over. So, Bib, this is your kind of domain.
Yep.
Thoughts?
I still think it's...
I was expecting more words from Bibby there as I started to blow my nose and the mic cut out.
Oh, I'm back. They call me Fat Baby. I'm back. Anyway, I don't think my camera is though, so I'm just going to pop that back on. There we go. Yeah, I still think it's absolutely mental that this game came out in 2001, 19 years ago. And it's still having people. They still have a community trying to bring this into 2020. It just shows, like, for me, this is what Silent Hill 2 is arguably one of the best out of the franchise. We're not going to talk about anything after Silent Hill 4, barring PT, because Homecoming was shit, Downpour was shit. Apart from Shattered Memories on the PSP, that was a banger. Obviously, that was kind of like a remake of the first one, so we'll leave that one. But Silent Hill 2 was phenomenal. I still love the fact that they are bringing it into 2020 by updating things like. Obviously, in 2001, we had like 4:3 ratio. They're trying to get this into the widescreen, 16:9. So it's fantastic. I love it. I haven't got a copy of this on my PC. I've already got Silent Hill 3 on my PC, so I definitely will be trying to pick up the PC version of this, so I can try and get this new modded version. To be fair, though, Silent Hill 3 on the PC looks amazing because it has had some mods on it as well. People have patched that. But this is brilliant. I've got all of these on my PS2, but obviously you can't really patch them. So
it does look really good in terms of.
Oh,
I was eating.
You eating crisp?
No, I'm eating a Kellogg Special K Biscuit Moments cereal bar.
Oh, that's what it sounded. It sounded like, you know, when you bite into crisp and it has the crunch. That's what it sounded like.
It's good morning ASMR streams. That's what it is. Do you know?
But yeah, I haven't actually watched this video yet.
I'm going to jump off it. One thing I will say from looking at it, you can tell on this screen in particular that we're on at the moment. Oh, let's go back a second or two. So this screen here, you can see from the backgrounds and the walls and so on, you can tell that it's definitely an old game that's been remade to a point. But it's easy to think, oh, well, looking at the face of whoever the character is that's on the bed, you can tell it's not Ellie from The Last of Us, let's put it that way. However, if you look at a PS1 face from 19 years ago and put that side by side with that, I mean, it is a completely different game. So for someone that's coming at this fresh, you need to get rid of the what you're used to now and think, okay, this is actual people, whereas it would have been smudged blocks back on the PS1 sort of way. So yeah,
it's also the text as well, because usually with old games like this, as they're trying to blow it up into 16:9 rather than 4:3, usually the text takes a massive hit and the pixelation just becomes smudged, smeared. It's just unreadable. Yeah. So it becomes unreadable. So the fact that they've been able to, I don't know whether or not they've just retyped the text or managed to go into the back end of the code and they've just either put a new font in or just made the font a little bit more legible. I'm not sure, but even the whole menu, it's got the Silent Hill Enhanced Edition. That looks clean. In fact, if you go to 10 minutes 52, it shows you what the text should have looked like at the time. So I love the fact that these games are still being made better because they are timeless games. If you've never played, well, they say it's timeless storyline wise because they haven't aged particularly well. Silent Hill compared to Resident Evil hasn't aged nearly as well as Resident Evil has. If you go back and play the original Resident Evil games, they're more than playable. These Silent Hill ones potentially not. That's up to the person that. Well, it's your own opinion. I don't think personally they've aged as well as the Resident Evil games have, but with these modders coming in and bringing the game up to standard still is amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, looking at things like this, for those of you that are listening to this podcast, we are showing a video on screen at the moment that was embedded with the Eurogamer article. And it's showing the different features like different language options, different screen resolution, so the 4:3, 16:9 options, then going through the soft shadows and things that they were talking about already. Why did the IRS reject the physician's paperwork? Because they considered it doctored. Hey! Good morning, Guns. How the hell are you, sir? It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Let's jump off of this. We've seen enough of this. I mean, shock horror though. Baby prefers Resi.
Well, to be fair, the storyline of Silent Hill is they are two different games. If you like the psychological side of it, Silent Hill is the one for you. If you like zombies, then Resident Evil's the one for you. It was the era of fantastic survival horror games.
Oh
my god, that's horrific.
Wow. It's one of those where, I mean, it's clearly what it's meant to be, where everyone knows the answer to the question and it's completely something different. Why was 6 afraid of 7? And in your head you're thinking, because 7, 8, 9, No, because 7 was a registered sex offender. Okay! Wow, this is Monday morning. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, that escalated quickly. But yes, in terms of...
on eBay now.
What? Because of... I was going to say... The
No.
You are welcome. What was I saying?
Fucking hell. £75.
What, for Silent Hill 2? PC.
On PC. Whew. I think I'll be buying that anytime soon.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. You were saying the Silent Hill games potentially haven't aged as well. I wonder. I mean, this is someone that has forgotten what it was like to play through Silent Hill on the PlayStation a million years ago. I wonder if the fact that the game was intentionally hamstrung. Have a nice stream. Going back to drinking peanut butter, whiskey, and Dr Pepper. Ooh, enjoy. Have a glass or 6 for us. Please drink responsibly. Yeah. Obviously, Silent Hill was hamstrung by itself. The game had the fog. One of the most iconic elements of Silent Hill is the fog, and that was there because developers couldn't render enough of the world. So they thought, well, if we put a fog in, that covers the fact that you can't see anything. So one of the most memorable and scariest and atmospheric things within the game was there to hide the fact that the game was kind of poor around it.
Genius.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, similar thing with Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid, people think the stealth genre was created intentionally for the fact that people want to create stealth. It wasn't. It was actually the stealth element was created to stop you from getting into fights, because if too many fights happened at once, that was too much demand on the processors. So the game would crash. So the stealth element was added in as a necessity. I mean, not that it wasn't intentional to add stealth in, but it was more added as a necessity so that the game could play. Keep away from fights so it doesn't crash. Put in the fog so you can't see the fact that the games are broken. I mean, two of the biggest franchises, not just from Konami, but from games in general from the last 20 years and longer, 25, 26, 30 years almost. Two of those, the biggest games from that sort of time, are founded on trying to cover processing flaws. But yeah, that back to the point, that's potentially the reason why Silent Hill didn't age as well, because, well, I say, obviously everyone's got their own opinions. Some might say it was, some might say it wasn't, but yeah, potentially the reason it didn't age as well, because it was hiding processing flaws behind it.
Yeah, I mean, would Silent Hill have been Silent Hill without all of that in there? I mean, that's kind of what it's known for now. It's known for the parallel dimensions, and obviously the fog, just the world itself, and obviously Pyramid Head being one of the scariest fucking creatures that have ever been made in video games at the time. So yeah, would Silent Hill have been that without it? I'm not too sure, but there's a new Silent Hill film coming out and a new Resident Evil series coming out, so the franchise is hopefully coming back stronger than ever at some point.
Didn't they take the fog out on a remaster and everybody complained? I don't know. But that sounds like something. That's like changing the Match of the Day theme tune. You're only going to get rage. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Metal Gear was a concept from Hideo because he enjoyed playing hide and seek from his kids. That's where Metal Gear got its food from. This is true. He said he enjoyed a thrill of almost getting caught and also getting away from being caught.
I did not know that. That's news to me.
I don't think it's true. I don't know.
You know?
I thought it was banter. I don't know. It's Monday morning. This is too early for this level of banter.
I know. The thing is with guns, he comes in and he drops jokes, so you never know if he's actually telling the truth. But that sounds like it could be true. And Precision saying it's 100% fact. There you go. That's something that I didn't know. We're all educating each other. This is great. Well, but I did watch Precision stream with the Silent Hill stuff, and I can understand where he's coming from. He just couldn't get his head around it. Going back to the game for something that you haven't played for a long time, it will take so much time getting used to again. It's not going to be an easy task, especially with like the tank controls and how the camera angle panned in stupid ways on Silent Hill 2 and the original sets. Anyway, the camera, if you went around a corner, it's like the camera's on top of your head. So when you're moving, the camera's just going all over the gas. So if you go around the corner, it starts to go a bit weird, but it does take a lot of getting used to. But with stuff like the modders coming in and trying to sort that out, it's only going to make the game better.
Not sure if you can get the whiskey I'm drinking, but where you guys? But it's top. I'd lick if I could. Peanut butter is the future. It's a bit. What time is it where you are? Because it's 9 minutes past 11 in the morning. It's probably a touch too early for any peanut butter whiskies. Although let's go off on a tangent. I'm not the biggest fan of whiskey at 5 a.m. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of whiskey, but I got some for Christmas from my brother-in-law called Lock Fine, which was a chocolate orange flavoured whiskey, and it is fit. It's fit. But do you know what? I'm online telling dad jokes. Day off today, so getting drunk. Lads. see, that's hardcore. Meanwhile, I'm sat here with my. I need to show this off because this was my Valentine's Day present. I'm an old man now. I have Graham's biscuits, a jar with my own name on it, full of chocolate digestives. Yeah, boy. Although you're in American time, Guns, so that's not going to be biscuits for you. Biscuits are the little things that you get with chicken. Are they cookies? Although cookies is a specific type of biscuit for me. So anyway. Moving on. Tell me more about Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition mod, Bib, while I effortlessly and without awareness type in for the next title. Well, you should say.
Okay, so Silent Hill 2, I am definitely interested in getting, but for the sake of £75, I don't think I'm going to double dip with this one, because that is a lot more money than I care to part way with currently. I do have it on PS2. I would like to play the remastered version, the one that Precision has, because that would be great. Because I think that's got 2 and 3 in there, so I won't mind going back through that. That'll be awesome. But as it stands, £75 for the game probably isn't something that I want to be doing. So it's too, even as a collector.
So is it not on Steam, or is it not on like anything like that? I'm assuming.
I'm not sure. I don't know if it'll go.
You can get it on PS Now.
I mean, I've got Steam on my laptop, so could potentially on eBay looking obviously says but when
did that come through the stream for you guys the same way that it came through for me?
Doesn't have it.
No. Okay. Do you know what? We're gonna stick Bibby on the shelf, and then we.
Did I pad enough? No, Silent Hill Homecoming is the only one that's on Steam.
Can you hear me? You can't. Bibby's got a bit mental. Do you know what? Let's end the call because that might help, and then I'll rejoin the call. See if that helps. Bibby.
Hello.
There we go. We kind of had like a backlog, so you kind of like froze for a second, and then 30 seconds worth of words came through at once, and then you were kind of like mega delayed. So can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yeah. I just like talking really fast.
Oh, okay. So what were we saying? I can't remember what we were saying.
I was just talking about Silent Hill, the fact that I don't want to pay £75 for a new game.
Ah, that was it. Oh yeah, I'd asked, is it not on Steam or something like that? And then you mentioned a few things, but we couldn't quite tell what you were saying.
Yeah. I went onto Steam, and they only have Silent Hill Homecoming on there. I went to CD Keys, and they only have Silent Hill Homecoming there. So it feels like they've just got rid of the entire back catalogue.
God damn it.
God damn it,
indeed. Damn it. Anyway, speaking of getting rid of back catalogues, nice tangent there, Bib.
Cheers, mate.
Let's open up into our next news article, and you can blame Nvidia, not just Activision Blizzard, for their GeForce Now falling out, as Phantom drops a host with 112 viewers. So thank you very much, Mr. Phantom. How the devil are you, sir?
Oh, what a guy!
Do you know what? Let's get rid of the article for now. Let's jump in so you can actually see who you're talking to. Hi, welcome. So what we are talking about at this point in time, for those of you that don't know, this is The Scoop. We are Ice Cream Uploads, that's why the show's called The Scoop. It's a bit of a pun. So we talk about news from the games industry and beyond. And at the moment we are talking about GeForce Now. I say we're just about to talk about GeForce Now. Basically, long story short, GeForce Now is kind of like Google Stadia, kind of like xCloud, apart from it works. Well, it kind of did until they pulled all of Activision Blizzard games from it last week. Yo, says Phantom. Have you been streaming? Have you been trolling people, Phantom?
I did. I was watching this morning.
What were you up to? What were you up to? I mean, Yeah, for those of you in the chat already, feel free to check out Phantom SFX is in the chat. You can see his name there. Go check him out. Give him a follow. Give him a follow. And if you are new here, feel free to hit the follow button. We go live every single weekday at 10 a.m. UK time, which is about the time that Phantom goes off. Probably about 6 hours after he should have gone off, because it's like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. for him over there. But yeah, feel free to give us a follow, because you can toddle over here when you're done with him. Anyway, let's jump back into the news. You can blame Nvidia, not just Activision Blizzard, for their GeForce Now falling out. Nvidia calls it a misunderstanding. This is written by Sean Hollister for The Verge. When we learned that Nvidia's GeForce Now cloud gaming service was losing access to every Activision Blizzard game only 1 week after leaving beta, I'll admit my first thought was that maybe a short-sighted, money-grubbing corporation had decided to take its ball and go home. That may still be what happened, but it turns out there was a more pressing problem. Nvidia didn't actually get permission to keep its games on GeForce Now after launch. The Butter Show, thank you very much for the follows, and same to you too, Mac, as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
While Nvidia confirmed to The Verge that it did, in fact, reach out to Activision ahead of launch to ask whether the giant game company was okay with its game staying on the paid version of the service, there was a misunderstanding about whether Activision actually gave them permission. Narrator, it did not. Here's a statement from Nvidia. Activision Blizzard has been a fantastic partner during the GeForce Now beta, which we took to include the free trial period for our founders' membership. Recognizing the misunderstanding, we removed the games from our service with hope we can work with them to re-enable these and more in the future. That reconciliation may not happen, though, according to Bloomberg, which reported the misunderstanding earlier. Activision Blizzard wanted to negotiate a new commercial agreement before Nvidia could serve up the games. Nvidia has been pretty clear that its business model is to not have commercial agreements with game publishers. Instead, it wants to let gamers buy their games on existing platforms like Steam, Epic, Uplay, and Battle.net and play them on GeForce Now the same way they play them on their home PC, giving publishers the same amount of money they'd normally have. An Activision Blizzard spokesperson tells us there's no commercial agreement like that in place. In other words, Nvidia should have really pulled Activision Blizzard games ahead of its launch last week, and the way it did with games from other hesitant publishers like Capcom, Konami, Rockstar, and Square Enix. At the time, GeForce Now boss Phil Eisler told me that some publishers are taking a while to make up their minds, so it's possible they'll come around. But because Nvidia didn't originally pull them, we now have two sets of news headlines hammering it home that services like GeForce Now are only as good as legal distribution agreements allow them to be. You may think you own a digital game, but that may not always give you the ability to play it on a computer you're renting in the cloud. PC World's headline last week echoes my thinking. That sucks! By the way, none of this has to do with Activision's recent multi-year partnership with Google, which we've just talked about. The games aren't necessarily going to Google Stadia's cloud gaming service instead. For one thing, that would require porting them to run on Stadia's Linux-based servers, and for another, the partnership about YouTube and Google Cloud, not Stadia. The company said on its Q4 earnings call that Stadia isn't part of the deal. Right now, we're focusing on the work between Activision Blizzard and YouTube Google Cloud, specifically, an Activision Blizzard spokesperson tells me. There, you have it. Boom. So, lots and lots of words, essentially saying that Nvidia were the ones that dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did not see that coming.
No, to be fair, neither did I. But, I mean, Nvidia want to be... They technically want to be the middleman. They want to be able to have people come over and use their platform to play the games that they already own, which I do not think is a bad thing. What I think is a bit shit is the people want these publishing companies to want more money from people to be able to play their games on this service rather than them being able to play it on their PC, which I think is a bit of a shitty move on their part.
It is. The worst thing for me, I mean, there's a couple of bad things here. The fact that I thought, as you thought as well, Google Stadia was part of that partnership announcement. So we've just been speaking about the fact that YouTube have spent $160 million to get exclusive broadcast rights to the CDL, Call of Duty League, and the Overwatch League. So if you haven't seen that, the whole video will be available, obviously, on demand on Twitch, and we'll upload the full thing to YouTube a bit later on too. But we were talking about that, and we'd assumed that GeForce Now launched with all of these Call of Duty games, and then they were scratched off because YouTube have gone, we want those exclusively on Stadia too. Turns out that's not the case. Nvidia's team just kind of like had a misunderstanding, aka they ballsed up and didn't get legal agreements to run with those games. So that is on Nvidia, which is shit, because we thought, okay, Stadia announced and it was crap. It isn't still at this point fit for purpose. You pay an extortionate amount of money for a subpar service. We have Google Stadia. We've tested it. It doesn't work well enough at all. So we thought Nvidia doing something that's a bit more reliable. Nice, we're finally getting somewhere, but they can't even get their ducks in a row in what games they're supposed to have on there. So that's disappointing to us. So obviously, xCloud is the only thing we kind of can rest our laurels on at this point, hang our hat on in hopes that it will be what we need it to be. So there's that. But yeah, the other bit is... so the first negative is that we look like we're getting somewhere in streaming services. It looks like we have another provider that isn't quite... that don't have their ducks in a row in what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So the next negative is complete mental blank now. That was it. Complete mental blank was the next negative is you've got someone like Activision who have been a huge part of the loot crate fiasco. We've spoken about loot crates many, many times on the scoop, and we probably will do till the end of time until they're gone. But Activision loved throwing loot crates into Call of Duty games, and we were high-fiving them for saying, look, do you know what? They've realised that loot crates are a shit model and probably going to be illegal at some point in the future. So let's get out of that mindset and get into the more productive and guaranteed investment rewarding scenario of using a battle pass or a season pass or whatever they call it in there. And they've done that, and they've increased their profits, and so everyone's happy. They've increased their profits and they've got away from loot crates. So they are pro-consumer. They're not encouraging gambling in terms of kids, but forget the gambling side of it. They're not just sponging money off us. And then the very next fucking week, they're like, actually, we don't mind games being on GeForce Now, but even though you want people just to be able to play the games that they've already paid for, we don't want that. No, they have to be able to pay to use our games through your service, even though it's a game that they've already paid for. Rather than going, do you know what, actually, let's pull the games while we figure out a legal way that we can work this. Because there could be loopholes in the GeForce Now system because it's brand new and they've never worked with it. There could be ways that people could buy and share games, which will then impact on the bottom lines. And I get that from a business perspective. But to just go, no, we need a commercial agreement where you pay us or customers pay us to be able to use your service. And it's just like, they've paid you. You've got your payday. Nvidia is allowing people to access your content on the go. Why? You don't need another payday from that. So yeah, it's just
it's a bit shitter. But we'll see where this ends up. I imagine the Nvidia guys have already got people in talks with the rest of the publishers as well, with the likes of Capcom, Konami, Rockstar, Square Enix that they've already mentioned. So is it 50-50 error down the road, or is this 110% on Nvidia's side for not getting the permission before they put it out live?
I'd say that's entirely on Nvidia, as shit as it is. I mean say shit as it is. I'm saying it's shit because I don't want to play them. I want them to be the good guys, and I want the publishers to be the bad guys because they're the ones that have got all the money and hold all the cards, and I want them to just go, do you know what? Fuck it, we've been bad. There you go. But it is Nvidia's fault. It's like me playing a game of football with your ball, but jumping over your fence and taking it, just assuming that you're going to say yes, and you're going, actually, no, dickhead, put it back. So no, it's on Nvidia. They have done in essence. They've got approval to use their games. That's fine, but it shows how crap licensing laws can be in terms of they've got approvals to use them in beta, but that beta from Nvidia's perspective doesn't really change much in terms of flicking the switch from beta to live. They've gone, okay, we've tested it and we've added incremental updates over time. And we've gone from version 0.001 to 0.0 to not 9, and then they've just changed the 0.9 to a 1 from their perspective and gone, yeah, it's the same thing, but changing to a full release, hitting that 1 and allowing anyone to sign up contractually changes the terms. And
absolutely.
And it is absolutely on them because that's what the contracted agreements were. Yes, you can use it in beta. No, you can't use it in full launch. We have to discuss those terms and conditions there, and Nvidia didn't do that. So the shit as it is, it's on them, and it is shit because I genuinely was looking forward to the idea of playing GeForce Now, playing a Master League on PC, fully modded to the tits, and being able to play it on my phone or whatever, wherever I go. Yes, please. I mean, not that Konami was signed up to it, but that's where my mind was going. It my game, my single player, my story mode, my career mode, my whatever I do that doesn't allow me to play online with my friends or whatever, I can do that on a bus or on a train or sat in a hotel room or just on the couch because I can't be asked going to the PC or something like that. But once again, online game streaming services are letting us down. Boo. On the throne, says Precision. Yes!
That works as well.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe you want to play the story mode of Call of Duty so you can be dropping bombs whilst you are dropping bombs. There we go. That should have been the tagline. GeForce Now, drop bombs while you drop bombs.
That'd be great.
Yeah, see, I mean, Nvidia, you've messed it up already. But you know what? Just give us a call. It's gonna be difficult, and we're gonna cost a little bit more now, absolutely. But give us a call, and we'll fix it for you. That's what we will do. I mean, give us a shout. I mean, how does GeForce Now sit with you now, then, Bib? In terms of, obviously, it came out of nowhere from us. I mean, it clearly didn't. It was out, and a lot of people were using it. It was in beta for a while. But for us, in terms of hitting the mainstream in that sort of sense, and us covering it from a news perspective, it kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Promised a lot, and then has now fizzled out to be not what we were expecting. How does that kind of sit with you?
I think it's just a waiting game now. We've mentioned it again. This is going to be on a T-shirt at some point, 1,000,001 times. To say that we've got 3 leaders in the race now. Well, I say leaders. We've got 3 companies in the race for who's going to make the best streaming platform. We've got xCloud. We've now got GeForce, Nvidia, and we've also got Project xCloud. So we've got 3 people in a race, and the only one that seems to be doing exactly what they say that they're going to do is xCloud. We've got Stadia that's fallen by the wayside. We've got Nvidia that's publishing games that they should not be publishing and ain't got permission to be able to do. xCloud is the only one that seems to be. Whether or not it's just because they own most of the titles that are on that platform and they've done their research well in advance to be able to say, listen, we've got this coming out, can we use this? And the publisher saying, yeah, thanks for asking, of course you can. So yeah, I think it's a waiting game now. We've seen this. I mean, we should be taking the piss out of this more than we do with Stadia, especially with the fact that it just crept up on us, this GeForce stuff, because I never heard of it until we covered it. So yeah, I mean, is it potentially going to go into that laughing state that we've had Stadia in for the last couple of weeks? Then probably.
Yeah, I think it has the potential for it, which is a shame, because I want game streaming to work. I want that technology to work. I don't want to play it on my phone. That's what I always say because that's the easiest way to summarize it, to drop it down. But I want to be able to play games on my non-gaming laptop. I have a Microsoft Surface, which is really powerful and really good, really portable, but it's not a gaming laptop. It's really good for business, but it's not got the processing power to do everything that it needs to do. If I can have that processing power, including ray tracing elsewhere, like GeForce Now was saying, and I'm just streaming the content through, then it's dependent on connection speeds more than processing, then absolutely love the idea of that. That's what I want to work. So if I could just stick my laptop in my bag when I'm going away and then just have my Xbox controller or something, or my PlayStation controller in my bag with me, and I could just stick it on a desk and play a few games. That's what I want to be able to do, and I love the idea that it's getting closer and getting closer, but I hate the fact that it keeps getting snatched away. So yeah, I mean, hopefully GeForce Now figures something out. The difference between GeForce Now and Stadia is GeForce Now has been quietly plugging away for a while, and they've had a long period of beta. Yes, they launched and still fucked up, but they launched after a period of beta and testing. So they've got their game playing mechanics to a point where their service offers a minimum level of quality. But the difference is they made all their mistakes whilst in beta. Not all of them, obviously, because they just made a very, very big one in terms of licensing all of Activision's games, or not, as the case is. But Stadia have made all of those mistakes whilst live. I mean, that I think that is part of the key difference. Well, is the key difference. Microsoft xCloud is still in beta, so you can play it, and there will be issues, and there isn't all of the games and stuff. But arguably, that is the only one of the three that hasn't gone into a full launch, and that is the one that seems like it's the most reliable, structured, and consistent offering across the board. Yes, it's on iOS. No, I haven't been accepted because I took too long. I may get the invite at some point in the few weeks and go, but at this point in time, I haven't been able to get hands-on on iOS. But that's the difference. I can't test it. That reminds me, once again, it's not a fully fledged product. I shouldn't be judging it as a fully fledged product. But Nvidia GeForce Now is a fully fledged product, and they just happen to do it without all of the games.
Yeah.
Test your might whilst having a shite, says Fatman Dave. That's okay. I mean, votes in the chat, dropping bombs while dropping bombs, or test your mic while having a shite, or both. What do we reckon? I mean, for those of you that have just joined, we are rebranding GeForce Now's marketing campaign. Big Zombie Monkey says, hello! Good morning, Spike. Actually, I said it wrong. Spike. How should it go, babe?
Hello!
There we go. There we go. There we go. Good morning, Spike. Are you working today? We've got a lull in the chat. So yes, if you didn't catch that, Spike, the GeForce Now stuff that we were talking about last week, I think you were here for the GeForce Now streams. Yes, working, always working. Yeah, the GeForce Now stuff sounded really good, and it plays really well, and technically is good. However, they didn't have approval from Activision to launch with their games. They had approval to use them in beta, but then they went to full launch without getting approval. So, long story short, some of the best games that were on the Nvidia GeForce Now service have been pulled because they don't have approval to use them. So we all thought it was like Activision going, actually, we just signed with Stadia. It was actually Activision going, mate, you haven't got authority to use that, so we're taking it off. So that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Anyway, one more news article. We are going to jump into that just now. But before we do, quick reminder that if you are new to this channel, if you like what you see, we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. on Twitch. We then upload this to an on-demand video on YouTube, and then we turn it into 4 different audio podcasts on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So whether you can't watch it in full, you can watch it on demand. If you can't watch it on demand, you can always listen to it on the go to !socials in the chat will give you links to our channels, or just search for Ice Cream Uploads wherever you are and you'll find it. So one more bit of news today, and not surprising, it's got a little bit of a negative overture, but it's absolutely what you'd expect at this point in time, as PS4 and Xbox One sales are plummeting following early reveals of next-gen consoles. This is written by Emily Gera for VG247, and it says, sales of PS4 and Xbox One in the US are declining faster than expected, according to a report from market analysts NPD Group. Spending on hardware was down 35% this January, compared to the same period in 2019. Likewise, total spending across all gaming hardware, software, accessories, and game cards saw a drop by 26% compared to last year. An interesting takeaway from the US NPD report is that PS4 and XB One hardware sales in January 2020 are considerably lower than PS3 and 360 were in 2013, writes Nico Partners analyst Daniel Armada over on Twitter. Next-gen consoles are around the corner, but both are declining sharper than expected. Switch continues to remain steady. He attributes the decline to a combination of multiple factors, including the fact that both PS4 and Xbox One systems have held at current price points for a number of years, as well as the impact of early announcements for PS5 and Xbox Series X with backwards compatibility. A recent shift to HD gaming across multiple devices could also have affected sales, he adds, as well as a number of high-profile AAA delays from Cyberpunk 2077 to The Last of Us 2. For more on what we know so far of the PS5 specs, blah, 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 you can see the links in the articles there. So, unsurprisingly, PS4 and Xbox One isn't selling very well.
No, I think the only time that someone is going to buy one of these consoles this year is if there's actually dies on them before a new one comes out. Even then, I think they'd probably think twice and just save that £200 that a brand new one costs, or they'll get a second-hand one from Facebook Marketplace or wherever your go-to second-hand shop is, and just buy a replacement one. It's very unlikely that someone's going to go out unless they have absolutely no idea that a new one's coming out at the end of the year. This is just a normal-ish article to be able to put out by now, because it's the most obvious thing to be able to say and get clicks on PS5 and Xbox One, which you are very welcome that I have done that for you today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I bought a PS4 Pro about 6 months ago, maybe 7 months ago, something like that, and that was too late in the product cycle. The only reason I bought a PS4 Pro about 6-7 months ago is because my little one was due a PlayStation, and I only had the Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain version of the PS4, and I didn't want to get rid of that. I wanted a PS4 Pro. Anyway, long story short, I gave her the PS4, I took the PS4 Pro, everyone was happy, job's good, but I wouldn't have purchased one at that point in time. So it doesn't surprise me that people are going, okay, we've been talking about the PS5 for almost a year since it was first announced in that Wired article. We know it's coming at the end of this year. There's going to be announcements and stuff, and not only is there going to be announcements about new content, but it happens. When you announce the PS5, the prices drop for the PS4. Yeah. That's the way it will work. People going, well, if I am going to buy a PS4, there is still 12 months before the PS5 comes out, and when it comes out, we're going to get absolutely shafted by Game, who are going to make you buy 27 extra controllers, 2 games, a PS1 controller as well, just because they've got one on the shelves or whatever. You can buy it now for the one-off price of £11,000 or something like that. A lot of people are probably sat there thinking, do you know what, I will buy a PS4, but I'm going to wait until that comes out with a price and a release date, because if the price is 400 quid, 500 quid, and the PS3 is 300 to 400 quid, that price has to drop. It has to drop to make room. If not, you're going to have lots of stock dead weight in shelves in stores. They will need to drop the price to remove them. So nobody's going to buy it at this point in time. The fact that they were saying it's dropped more than expected, I mean, it's kind of... I mean, what were you expecting? We never had an announcement of the console so early without details before. The fact that that's happened, I mean, in my mind, means that you should have expected console sales to drop off until the prices are released. Then you might get a little bubble where people do last-minute purchases of PS4s to see out the last 6 months, to play Cyberpunk on the PS4, to play The Last of Us on the PS4. Then they'll use that as a trading bundle when the PS5 comes out. That's the kind of thing that I would be thinking. But yeah. New console coming out soon, but keep buying the old one. Yeah, exactly. What? It's just daft. Maybe talking about buying consoles and stuff. You mean off the back of the truck, Terry? It's actually Timmy, mate. Terry got arrested. God. It's Terry Tibbs. Terry Tibbs. What was it? Maserati. Beautiful car. Maserati. You want to buy PS1, Terry Tibbs? That's the deal. Terry Tibbs. Step ladders, talk to me. Then if you train that whole bundle in, 10 minutes later, game offer you 12p and a power card from 1994. Do you know what? That's actually not far from the deal. I mean, we spoke about this before, and I think we might have even shown it at the time. The last time we spoke about game being an absolute travesty from a retail consumer perspective, did we show that video of the guy losing his shit in store where Game kind of says, oh yeah, all of these games will give you $12, and it was like a stack of like really, it just like starts trashing stuff as he's leaving the store or something. Yeah. I mean, I don't condone trashing game stores at all, but I do condone being pissed off and voicing your opinions, because bullshit, mate. I mean, the trading stuff, I get it. Don't know enough. Don't know what games do it. Whatever. Potentially, I get it. But that marketing, like upselling. You want to buy a PlayStation, you have to buy an extra pad because it only comes with one. You have to buy The Last of Us and Godfall and thingy. Plus, you need the toy or move sensors and VR and stuff in a bundle in one. There's no. It's bullshit that they force that on people, because the prices in game are expensive as they are. You can always get cheaper on Amazon or something. Game, unless you get some miraculous sale, is never the cheapest. So the fact that they force people to buy more, and it's frustrating, because the people that go into game are like my mum, that will just go, oh, Graham wants this game, but I know nothing about the games industry, so I will buy that. Or my auntie or an uncle, or obviously not necessarily specifically my mum, because I don't think she's ever bought me a game. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. The mums and dads of the world that don't know the games industry will go to game, and game doing that, they will think, oh well, this is just it. And game are preying on people's ignorance with that. So yeah.
It says on the website now, if you was to go and trade your PlayStation 4 in now, they'll give you £92 based on fair condition. Now, I'm pretty sure that if you went in with a fair condition PlayStation, they'll say that's in bad condition and probably give you about 50 quid.
Yep. Which is 92 quid as well, though. I mean, the thing is, you're paying for the convenience there. If you get rid of your console and take 92 quid back for it, you've got the convenience of knowing that they will take it from you and it's gone, and you've got 92 quid there. You don't have to put any adverts and stuff. But if you stick a post on Facebook Marketplace for 150 quid, that's going. That is going, absolutely. And that's a decent price. You could probably get more than that as it is. So that's just them going, nope, absolutely profits. If you're in the chat, have you purchased anything from Game? And if you have, what was the last thing you purchased? And if you're also in the chat, if you've purchased something, not just from Game, obviously this is a bit generalising. We're not just hating on Game. We're hating on anti-consumer stuff. It may have been from somewhere else, but I hate purchasing games now for that particular thing, because there's some places that are really pro-consumer that'll send you the game early to make sure it's there and this, that, and the other, but then other places will just absolutely sting you and try bundling in-game purchase cards or whatever way.
The best store that I still buy stuff from, I don't know if they've actually got a store or it's just online, but the Game Collection are phenomenal with that kind of thing. I used to get games 3 or 4 days early from them. I remember playing PES 2016 on the PS4 when that came out, like a week before everybody else, and I don't understand why they send them out so early. Obviously, they want it there on the day of release, but the Game Collection usually are very, very good and very, very good at pricing their products as well. They don't generally have any brand new games over about £40, with obvious exceptions of potential massive AAA titles. I'm just going to go on there now and see whether or not Cyberpunk is priced accordingly.
While you look for that, on the similar vein of thought, Play.com, which obviously has been absorbed by Rakuten and have ruined it. Play.com used to be amazing. I remember when Play.com sponsored the PES fan forums, and the prices were always better than Amazon, always better than Game, always better than everywhere. And Play.com used to deliver early, guaranteed. And that was when it was kind of like, it was like mind-blowing to have a game pre-release kind of thing. I remember just seeing the forums light up with people going, I've got it! Yeah. And they were really good with the community as well. Play.com would they were the ones that put the 50 grand prize on the line that Mark Gardnich won for PES 6, was it? So yeah, Play.com were really good at that. So it's disappointing to see that they're now being absorbed by that horrendous marketplace, Rakuten. But they didn't evolve with times. Anyway, so Game Collection, what we saying?
So I am on the Game Collection website now. Cyberpunk 2077, £39.95 as available as pre-order. Obviously, it's not out until 17th September. The exact same thing on Game, $49.99. Well, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what more to say that isn't fucking enraging. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, how have they managed to slap another tenner on that?
And that's the thing, is there are costs. So let's break it down from a businessy sort of perspective. Game has brick and mortar stores. Those brick and mortar stores require staff. They require electronics to be running. So electricity bills. They've probably got gas bills for heatings and things and whatever. Then there's the in-store point of sale and the graphics and the TVs and all of that. The rest of that. I get that. However, you amortize those costs. If that's your business model, then you need to break those costs down and strike deals with the distributors so that you can get games at a lower price, so that you can sell them at market competitive prices and blah, 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 blah. But it just shows you that it's just a failing model in the fact that it's £10 more on a pre-order that you can pre-order from a website that most people in this chat might not have heard of, and it's £10 cheaper straight off the bat, and you'll get it guaranteed delivery, really good customer service, because you're not one of a million people that are in customer services queues dealing with brick and mortar store complaints and blah, 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 blah. Just friendly Steve from GameCollection.com sticks it in an envelope. Bosh, job's good. Play.com used to be good. Hashtag sad times. That's true. I miss choices. Choices? I don't know choices. I was going to use Game for the new Animal Crossing. I was hoping for a good exclusive for pre-ordering. Guess what? I'd have got a free tote bag. So basically a bag for life.
It's definitely worth parting with your cash for that, isn't it?
Oh, amazing.
Go in with your dinner to work. Go in when you go to B&M, just walk in with a nice little tote bag. Your buddies on the inside of it. You'd be the coolest cat in the entire building.
That was PES 2008 that Mark Gardner won the Play.com 50. That's it. Yeah. I need a Wii and PES 2012, 2013 again. Champions Road game mode. Was awesome.
Mate, PES on the Wii.
It was class.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It is brilliant. I mean, I don't use the motion control.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was literally waving my finger to go. Actually, caveat, PES on the Wii was amazing if you use like one of the like controllers, a pro controller, whatever they called it. If you use the nunchucks, it was.
It's so good. For me, better. PES on the Wii, like the 2012 and 13, were the best uses of that engine. So it's for me, it's the best way to play PES if you are going to be playing PES on the Wii. It was better than the refined PlayStation 2 engine, because that's kind of what it was, but just like a very small tweaked version of it. But it's phenomenal on that. If you have got a Wii, go and get that game, and just make sure you get a pro controller with it, because you do not want to be playing with the motion controls on that.
I mean, the motion control stuff is good for about 5 minutes as you're trying to get used to it, and you're like pointing and running, but it's just not the experience that you want. It's not. Buying a Wii and PES now, it's amazing. Yeah. I mean, like, Bibby kicked off a trend for PES 6. Now we're starting a trend for the Wiis. There's PSPs and stuff being bought. Asim's tweeting pictures. I mean, it's clearly we need a new console. The PS5 needs to launch now because we're just buying all the old consoles again for a different gaming experience than the ones we have.
The retro stuff will never die. For me anyway, as a big retro gamer, there's 1,000,001 ways to play PES, and just it seems to be that the older ones seem to be the more popular ones at the moment, which for me is great, because that's how I see it. That's how I digest my PES games, playing the older versions. Like on Friday, I think it was, Samantha fell asleep in the front room on the couch.
PES 2,
booting up the PS2 and playing PES 2. Do you know what I mean? What a better way to spend your Friday night and Friday evenings?
Class. See, I want yawning. I want what we tried to do. I want couch co-op. I want remote play together, Master League. Mm-hmm. I want that.
We had it.
Yeah,
very briefly.
I want to be able to play 2-player Master Leagues, and you can't always be sat on the same couch. And in an environment where we can have 100 different people dropping into a BR. Shout out to PUBG, by the way. If we can have 100 people dropping into a BR, why can't we have 2 people dropping into one story mode in a football game? Why?
I'll be able to fix that. I just need a little bit more time. But I'm fairly certain if we was to actually get our shit together, I would be able to sort that out.
Do it. We need it. Interesting. Guys in the chat, would you like to see a live streamed co-op Master League? Just want to see what the thoughts are on that. Obviously, everyone likes a bit of My Club content. I'm not the biggest My Club fan myself. I'm more of an ML. Would you like to see a duo management? Think of like Salford City FC when they had those 2 lads on that BBC documentary, like that, but with less IQ. Would you like to see that? Let us know. Precision said, yes, please. If modded, yes. Well, that's kind of where we want it to go. We want to do the full modding spectacular. Obviously, Bibby started a modded ML already, which you've seen on the channel. But yeah, we've been teasing Master League content for a couple of years now, and we have a lot of work already gone on behind the scenes in terms of it wouldn't just be us just sat here chatting for most of it. There'd be extra scenes and all the rest. So yeah, we just Class of '92 was terrific. It was Master League modded co-op. Who's it? Fish. Craig hasn't. Hey. I get on at Bibby doing modded ML a lot.
Yeah.
Do it.
Mrs. Bibby goes away for 11 days soon. So the chance of me streaming every single night is probably going to be extremely high, because what else am I going to do with my time? So we'll very much, you are, as of next week, going to be seeing a lot more of my face in the evenings, which is either a good or a bad thing, depending on how much you like shit banter.
Shit banter!
Yeah, shit banter and even shitter gameplay. This is the home of it.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's pretty much it for the stream today. Although I do want to play some Radical Heights theme tune because I can.
Sorry, I didn't hear that bit. You went a bit.
I just played the Radical Heights theme tune because I could.
Oh, sorry, mate. While you're on that.
So yeah, that is it. One bit of housekeeping though. If you are here and you haven't been here before, well, two things actually, not one thing. Hit that follow button. You will get notified each and every time we go live. We go live every day at 10 a.m. But it's not about that. That's not what I was building up to. I mean, we do go live every day at 10 a.m. But we have the Invitational. We have our very own ice cream branded tournaments happening live on Twitch. We've had two before, the solos, the double trouble, but now we are building up to the ice cream uploads triple threat. That is taking place Friday the 28th, 6:30 in the evening UK time, which should be good time, about 10 a.m.-ish, 10:30-ish, depending on where you are in America, so that we get a nice cross-Atlantic vibe. We'll have a tournament that runs through the night. 8 teams of 3 people will be taking part, all to see who can walk away with the title. We have prizes. The tournament is sponsored by GT Omega and Nakon controllers as well. We have a giveaway which has been linked in the chat. Thank you very much, Number One Pirate. Hit that link in the chat. That'll take you to a post that we've pinned. Within that, you can win yourself a sexy GT Omega backpack, as well as a GT Omega XL mouse mat for your desk. If you want to get involved in the tournament, though, there will be extra prizes, including prizes from GT Omega and Nakon, and the entrance. We have one spot, should I say, left for people to enter for that. We've recruited 7 teams, and we want one extra team. Our wildcard entrant, and the link for that has also been placed in the chat. If you're not watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, then you can see our pinned tweet has the competition post on Twitter. That's twitter.com/icecreamuploads. And if you scroll down the timeline, you will see content on there too regarding the wildcard places. So feel free to get involved. But I think that's pretty much it for today's show. We will be back though. Well, I won't be back until next week because I'm off for the rest of the week, suckers. Bibby will be back tomorrow, joined by the man they call Luke. At 10 a.m. Obviously, Josie has 2 streams this week as well. For those of you who don't know, Josie streams games because she's better at games than we are. And we try to make it look good, but let's face it, we're not. And she is, so there you go. She will be streaming Death Stranding at 12 noon tomorrow and Wednesday. So make sure you jump in for Josie streams as well. Do you know what, actually? Tuesdays and Wednesdays, just don't even bother leaving. Just sit down, grab a brew, packet of crisps, turn on at 10 a.m. for the scoop. Follow that through with Josie's live streams afterwards as well. There you go. That's the plan. Anything you want to add before we disappear, Viperino?
Yes, there is. I seen a comment from Pirate saying, when am I going down to London? April 4th. I will be going down to London to go and see the Tutankhamun. Is that how you pronounce it, Tutankhamun?
No.
Okay. Well, he's got an exhibition.
What a lad!
Exhibition. 4,000 years old, and he's still putting on expos. What a guy! He's there for the cars. But yes, I'm going to be down there with Mrs. Bibby as we go and explore some Egyptian shit. I don't know. She's mad into it. I'm taking her because it was part of her birthday present. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting down to London again. I absolutely love it down there. Not as good as Manchester, obviously, but yeah, I'll be going down there then. So hopefully I'll be seeing you around there, Mr. Pirate. But yeah, again, in regards to video game news, if you do see anything that you want to hear our opinions on, and you have your own, then do feel free to tag us at Ice Cream Uploads on social media at We've Got With Being Your, which is yours truly, and Mr. Graham_Day. Even though he won't be here for the rest of the week, I'm very certain he's going to pass that over to me.
Absolutely.
In case you see anything juicy.
I want to add regarding Tutankhamun, I'm not a fan of museums and stuff, but that sounds like a Pharaoh exhibit to me.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Pharaoh exhibit! Sorry, I apologise.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the kind of gold that you're going to be missing for the rest of the week.
Anyway, on that horrible bombshell, have yourselves a very, very lovely day, ladies and gentlemen. And he will be back. Oh, actually, do you know, let's try it. I never tried it before. Bibby, your left arm, get ready for a high five. 3.
This one. Which side? Got a hit in left?
Yeah, straight out to your left. 3.
Okay.
2, 1. No idea, but it's fine. We did it.
We'll take that.
Nice, absolutely. Anyway, have yourselves a very lovely day, ladies and gentlemen. We are done for today. As mentioned, Bib And Luke will be back with more Scoopalicious content at 10 a.m. UK time tomorrow. Hit follow before you go, and you get notified. Until then, though, have a lovely day, and remember, stay frosty.